Hi guys, and welcome to prediction week 15, and we start at 12:30 with Chelsea versus Newcastle. It's going to be a bit of a tough test for Chelsea, and a tough test for Newcastle as well. So it's going to be quite a good game. But you would expect probably Chelsea to nick this one, being at Stamford Bridge. So I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. We now go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and we have Stoke versus Swansea. Obviously a disappointing result for Stoke in the week, losing to Liverpool. Obviously Swansea will want to get back to winning ways as well. It's one of those games again where you need 3 points, but I'm not going to give them. I'm going to go Stoke 1, Swansea 1. It's going to be a bit of a tight game, tough game actually. Both teams needed 3 points, so that's why I've given the draw. We then have Brighton versus Liverpool. Again, good win for Liverpool yesterday, but you'd expect Brighton to be a bit of a tougher test for Liverpool, and it's also at Brighton. So I'm going to go for a tight game in this one as well. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Liverpool 1. We then have Watford versus Tottenham. Tottenham's been on quite poor on form the last couple of weeks. They lost to Arsenal, and then they're due to West Bromwich Albion, and then they lost to Leicester City on Tuesday. But again, I don't think Watford's quite got the strength or the quality to see off Tottenham. But I do think they're going to make it quite tough. But I think Tottenham will get back to winning ways on the weekend. I'm going to go Watford 1, Tottenham 2. We then have West Bromwich Albion versus Crystal Palace. Again, Crystal Palace have struggled to get their season going this season. A good result for West Bromwich Albion on the weekend, obviously drawing to Tottenham. I can't quite remember how they got on in the week, but I expect them to beat Crystal Palace, especially at home anyway, and quite comfortably as well. I'm going to go West Bromwich Albion 2, Crystal Palace 0. We then have Everton versus Huddersfield. A great win for Everton yesterday, beating West Ham 4-0. I said to you on the previous video, I said it was going to be one of those two games where I thought that Everton needed the 3 points, West Ham needed the 3 points, and it was going to be stuck in midfield, but it wasn't like that at all, obviously. Everton did have the better quality, which I thought they would do, to be honest with you, and it paid off. They beat West Ham 4-0. However, I spoke about Huddersfield this season. Yes, Huddersfield did lose 5-0 to Arsenal yesterday, but for me, Arsenal is a completely different class, and I know that Everton did win 4-0 yesterday, but again, I just can't see Everton repeating that again, and I think that Huddersfield will want to tighten up their defence and get back to, well, I don't really say winning ways, but get back to having a solid defence, and because they are quite a decent side, Huddersfield, and as I say, I think yesterday was a bit of a blip, to lose 5-0 to Arsenal. It was a little bit hard on them, really, I thought, because if you listen to the game like I did, I thought the 5-0 only really happened like the last 15 minutes of the game, because Huddersfield were frustrating us and Arsenal were crap, for majority of the game. For about 75 minutes of the game, we couldn't even put a pass together. So it was a little bit, unlucky for them, to lose 5-0, but there you go. But I do think, as I say, it's going to be a different game this one. I'm going to go Everton 1, Huddersfield 1. We then have Leicester versus Burnley. Obviously, I said, Leicester beat Tottenham on Tuesday, so obviously they're brimming with confidence at the moment. And again, Burnley don't make it easy for you. They as I worked out for myself last week, they tighten up, they're hard to break down, and they can create chances as well. I do think that Leicester will nick it because it's at home. I'm going to go Leicester 2, Burnley 1. 5:30 we have Arsenal versus Manchester United. It's the old Arsene Wenger versus Jose Mourinho that everyone's talking about. Is Jose Mourinho going to come and park the bus? Or Arsenal going to do what they do, have one of those mad Arsenal games like they did to Tottenham, like they've done to Manchester United in the past, what they've done to Liverpool in the past. You just don't know what Manchester United team is going to turn up. Just don't know what Arsenal team is going to turn up. It's a really, really interesting fixture, this one. But something tells me, and people are going to say, it's only because you're an Arsenal fan, but something tells me, probably is, that Arsenal are going to nick this one. And I think, I say nick actually, I think Arsenal's going to win quite comfortably. I'm going to go, funny enough, I know maybe a couple of eyebrows are going to be raised at me here, but I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. I don't know why, I just feel like, I know that they're picking up points, Manchester United, but I do feel that, Arsenal are scoring more goals, and Yes, I know they won 4-2 yesterday, Man U, against Watford, but on the whole, I think Arsenal's been looking a bit more. They've been looking a bit more positive, and they did see a lot of the ball against Burnley, and as I say, they did struggle yesterday, but obviously won 5-0 the last 15 minutes. So it shows what Arsenal can do when they get their act together, and I do believe, like I said, if Arsenal can get their act together and play the way that we know that Arsenal can play, I think that they have no problem against Manchester United. To be honest with you, I think on the day Arsenal are better than most teams when they get their act together. Don't think anyone's going to deny that. Your panel, even your legends and that will always say the same. There's no stopping Arsenal when they're in the mood. So if Arsenal are in the mood, I think Arsenal come in quite comfortably. So Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. On Sunday, 1:30, we have Bournemouth versus Southampton. I'm going to go for a lively game in this one. We've always got to go for one. So I'm going to go Bournemouth 2, Southampton 2. And then to wrap up the weekend, we have Manchester City versus West Ham. Again, I thought Manchester City were quite lucky actually to draw to beat Southampton yesterday 2-1, 96-minute bastards. But they keep winning, and you can't knock that at the moment. And West Ham, I can't see them struggling to West Ham at all, especially at home. So I'm going to go Manchester City 3, West Ham 0. So that has been my predictions for this week, guys, and I will see you next week for next week's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.